A warning is issued about excessive emotional investment in the mission. The conversation shifts to discussing their destroyed planet and a curse of despair that was mistaken for a blessing. This reveals deeper layers of tragedy in their past. Deep regret is expressed about becoming a god, suggesting a transformation that led to significant losses. There's discussion about justice and new positions being granted, but this appears to cause distress rather than comfort. The narrative transitions to recurring nightmares that serve as the only connection to someone precious. A pendant, described as a light that dispels darkness, has gone missing, causing significant distress. Plans are made to retrace steps through various locations to find it. A touching flashback reveals shared moments watching sunrises together with Sinadia. The scene captures intimate conversations about staying together and not wanting to be apart, highlighting deep emotional bonds and fears of loss. A story unfolds about brave blacksmiths, sacred forests, and magical creatures, particularly focusing on a lion cub. This tale appears to be metaphorical, representing hope, new beginnings, and the cycle of day and night. The search for the lost pendant continues, leading to an encounter with Hara, who offers help, but seems to misunderstand the item's deep significance. The conversation reveals tensions and different perspectives on dealing with loss. The dialogue turns philosophical, discussing paths and destinations, through as an acknowledgement of non-human nature and the acceptance of inevitable truths. The scene concludes with a sense that a farewell is approaching, as someone named Leylah has foreseen it. There is a peaceful conversation between Leylah and Nahralab, though Leylah admits to feeling uncomfortable and sad when talking to Nahralab. While searching for a missing pendant in the hallway, Leylah encounters someone who recognizes her from a previous interaction with Litost. A request is made to create Leylah's portrait, as the people of the land wish to see it. However, Leylah declines, expressing that she doesn't want worship or separation from people through portraits. The conversation shifts to discussion of a jujutsu war and the selection of Shadow Knights. The discussion reveals deep loyalty towards Leylah, with participants willing to risk their lives in the ring. The conversation then turns to Sinadia, whose name has faded from people's memories. Leylah explains that Sinadia was a true god who protected life and civilization on the planet. A flashback occurs to a harvest festival celebration on a ship with Sinadia. The memory includes playful moments involving sweets and ship navigation. The scene captures the joy and connection between the characters during this festive time. The flashback continues with a prayer ceremony where people offer flowers and branches, symbolizing protection of health and peace. Leylah appears shy about addressing the crowd, while Sinadia encourages participation and community engagement. The narrative returns to present time, where Leylah hears a child's cry for help. The child is trapped between double-layered walls. Using a shadow executioner, Leylah carefully works to free the trapped child while gathering information about their situation. After successfully freeing the child, they express gratitude and bring up a festival that Litost is preparing. The child shows eagerness to help, despite being told they are too young to participate in the jujutsu activities. Leylah reveals she is searching for an important pendant with stars on it. Despite her reluctance to involve others, the child insists on helping. The search expands as more people volunteer to help look for the pendant. Leylah feels guilty about involving others in her search. Despite everyone's willingness to help, they are unable to locate the precious pendant. The community reassures Leylah that they wanted to assist, showing the strong bond between her and the people. The planet is described as a ship called Sinadia, with Rara serving as its guiding light. Despite being viewed as a leader, Rara maintains humility, seeing herself merely as a statue placed by a warrior. She expresses her desire to help create a more peaceful future for this metaphorical ship. Though Sinadia's name has faded from planetary memory, its significance as the true god of the planet remains important. Sinadia is remembered as a noble deity who protected truth, forgave the lost, and made the ultimate sacrifice to protect fate. Their grace continues to reverberate through the world. The scene shifts to a library where characters are searching for something. The passage of time is noted with observations about growth and changes. There's mention of reading books and sharing snacks, though proper library etiquette is considered. A story unfolds about Kojika searching for a lion among books. The tale takes on magical elements as Kojika claims to read minds. This leads to a deeper conversation about understanding others through observation of their expressions and behaviors. A confession about a mistake involving trees in Byaku town is shared. An attempt to support falling trees using shadow power resulted in their destruction. This led to manual replanting efforts, though the outcome wasn't perfect. The incident prompted reflection on the use of shadow powers. A discussion about shadows reveals their dual nature, both as a source of fear and as a canvas for imagination. The relationship between light and shadow is explored, emphasizing their interdependence and potential for creating miracles when properly understood and controlled. A conversation begins between Leylah and Serapeum about sharing burdens and working together. They discuss a meaningful pendant that Sinadia had crafted, which matched the color of her eyes. The pendant holds special significance as Nahralab had also been involved in its creation, though she was described as being more of a distraction than help during the making process. The discussion shifts to memories of the library, where Leylah would often hide among the books. Serapeum recalls how Sinadia would always find Leylah there, especially when she was struggling with difficult problems. A particular memory surfaces about watching fireworks together when Leylah was stuck on a problem from Litost. However, Leylah has trouble remembering Sinadia's exact words from that day. The narrative transitions into a series of vivid memories involving Sinadia and Leylah preparing for a festival. They work together on lantern decorations, with Sinadia being particularly attentive to details. The scene portrays their close relationship and shared anticipation for the nighttime festivities. A metaphorical discussion about broken wings leads to Sinadia encouraging Leylah to believe in herself and build her own experience. This shifts into poignant memories of watching sunrises and sunsets together, with philosophical conversations about new beginnings and endings. The scene moves to a riverside conversation where they discuss the reflection of their eyes and the nature of time. Sinadia emphasizes the importance of moving forward like the flowing river, rather than remaining static in the past. This creates internal conflict for Leylah, who struggles with letting go. The narrative reaches an emotional climax, with Leylah experiencing distress over hurting Serapeum and feeling unworthy of being called a god of the planet. Memories of Sinadia's encouragement contrast sharply with Leylah's current self-doubt and fear of being forgotten. Final memories revolve around a growing tree, symbolizing change and progress. Sinadia and Leylah discuss how perspectives change with growth, though the fruit at the highest point proves disappointingly better. The sequence concludes with recollections of Sinadia preparing to leave for 3 days, highlighting themes of independence and separation. A reflective moment begins as someone expresses unfamiliarity with a method and decides to keep their thoughts private. A decision is made to follow Litost's advice for 3 days, with plans to expand school visits and engage more with the community to solve problems together. Inner turmoil is revealed as the protagonist feels like a small animal, desperately showing strength while hiding vulnerability. The relationship with Leylah is described as evolving through time, leaving questions about whether this brings good fortune or marks the beginning of a curse. Deep reflection occurs about how things might have been different, with more honesty about feelings. Sinadia is described as a source of support and represents an answer to important questions. The scene shifts as Sinadia leads the way to show a special present. A beautiful landscape is revealed, filled with blooming flowers. This scene represents a treasure Sinadia wanted to protect, leaving lasting footprints across the planet. The natural beauty of clouds, trees, and flowers serves as a reminder of their shared experiences. Profound grief and questioning emerge about whether different choices could have changed the outcome. The planet has begun forgetting Sinadia, while others move forward with their lives. There is a struggle with the fear of eventually forgetting important memories. The narrative shifts to a tender moment of remembrance, with an invitation to rest and share burdens. Litost is mentioned as someone who has watched over the growth and development of others, becoming an unexpected but reliable presence. A discussion about adopting a dog leads to deeper philosophical contemplations about companionship and responsibility. The conversation reveals tensions about making important decisions regarding knight selection and future leadership roles. A significant moment occurs with the return of Sinadia's repaired pendant, sparking memories and gratitude. The narrative then turns to visiting a special tree planted by Sinadia, which has grown strong enough to shelter travelers. Questions arise about the necessity of self-deception in moving forward, with a call for support and understanding in facing these challenges. A tender moment unfolds as someone asks Leylah for water. While helping water trees, Leylah gets carried away with the amount of water used. The interaction reveals care and attention to nurturing growing things, though with gentle correction about moderation. A beautiful vision is shared about future growth, describing how a child will plant branches that will provide shelter for travelers and nesting places for birds. This poetic imagery speaks to the long-term impact of careful cultivation and patience. An important lesson about nurturing growth emerges. The key is providing essential needs and then allowing natural development to take its course. The outcomes, whether providing rest for travelers or sustenance for wildlife, should unfold organically. A broken promise is revealed, bringing emotional weight to the scene. A pendant and someone named Litost are mentioned as witnesses to a child's development, suggesting a complex web of relationships and responsibilities. Leylah is described as virtuous and destined to become a spiritual guide for the Rakusei. Her development reflects advancing civilization, though internally she remains youthful and hesitant about wielding power, struggling with fear and self-doubt. Years of guidance and responsibility are reflected upon, with regret over betrayal of trust. The inability to convey the transient nature of existence weighs heavily, marking a significant failure in mentorship and guidance. Deep philosophical reflection occurs about existence as symbols of the past, coupled with acknowledgement of betrayal to a mission. A prophecy emerges about a new knight arising during the Jujutsu War, regardless of personal desires. Raw emotional truth surfaces about self-deception and abandonment. The pain of constant betrayal and isolation becomes evident, revealing deep psychological wounds and trust issues. The scene concludes with powerful imagery of darkness consuming the sky and stars losing their light, reflecting internal turmoil and isolation. A dream girl is referenced, suggesting a complex relationship between reality and imagination.